What is going on, everybody? Rob, already coming in huge. You may not be around for the stream. All right, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. I hope your day is going wonderfully, man. What do we got? It's like around 5:30 for you. Yeah, maybe this is like a dinner time or something like that, huh? AC, what's up, dude? You're liking Yellow Jacket. Yeah, I'm curious about him. I want to eventually get in and start testing him out myself. I did take him to R2. I had a lot of resources I decided to go ahead and use. And so eventually I want to test him. I'm hoping that maybe he's like Warlock, where we just don't realize how good he is right away. And we're going to find out he's great. And if he's if he's just someone that, they've not did a nice buff and a low, okay. I was saying yellow demigod. All right, well, we'll find out. And that's the thing, right? Is like all of these buffs cannot be red Magneto level. It just then we'd have a bunch of red Magnetos running around. So I'm very okay with it. Like I'm actually really happy with the Kingpin buff. I think he's a brawler. He's a ton of fun, and he can do really good damage. He's not going to solve all your problems. He's not going to be who you take for every quest. That's for sure. He's not Ghost. But he's a ton of fun. He's a brawler, and it really fits with his aesthetic and his look and his gameplay. I love it. I absolutely love it. LC, what's up, man? Thank you so much for stopping by at WordCamp, especially. I really appreciate it. And as we listen to your tunes here, to your music, it's awesome. So you think he's just a little bit better? Yellow Jacket? Well, they definitely added a lot of utility. Right. And I think that's always something for us to remember, especially like in-game players or whatever that term exactly means, is that there's a ton of people coming up in this game. And that's a good thing. It's a great thing. And they need to be able to pull champions to clear content. They're not going to be able to pull Ghost and Aegon and things like this. So having more champions that are usable, helping people get through content, I think that is a really positive thing. And they're fun. Like I am having a blast with Kingpin. I can't wait to get in and show you all what we're working with here. So let's go ahead and do that. I need to finish up. I need to finish up the side quest, unfortunately. So for those who don't know, I had to take like about 2 weeks off, and I really got through as much of Act 7 as I could. Finished it yesterday, and now I've got a bunch of this arcade to run through. It is not fun. They should update this. Ironol, how are you doing, buddy? So much. That's great to see you stop by. Thank you. Great day at no work tomorrow. All right. Way to go, Rob. No work tomorrow. That's awesome. I am happy to hear that. I think we've all seen Cosmic Ghost Rider enough. I am starting to play around with Terrax. Also, insanely fun. Insanely fun. And I think he really fits with his aesthetic and his animations, just the way you work with him. But I don't, we're not gonna be able to do him yet. I need to play around with him a bit more. As far as Kingpin is concerned, if you're struggling the debuffs, I think Hood is really important. Someone who you're really going to have with you. If not, I don't think it's as big a deal, but I'm running suicides and I'd like to leave him on. And I like Hood. I have Hood at rank 2. So Marvel Contest of Champions AC344. What's up? How you doing? Good thing you finished Act 7 before the update. Are you serious? It's bug. This one had so many bugs. Did you see the one where the Do You Bleed lane, the champions weren't even taking damage with bleed? That's a problem. That's a problem. Especially I just put out a video where it's like, it is so boring to just hit into the block with Corvus over and over. And so I put out, I was so proud of myself, right? I was like, hey, you can use Squirrel Girl. She's really great. Or use your Wolfman Wolverine. And even if he can't be a horseman, even if you can't make him a horseman, he's still really great. But if you can't bleed him, Corvus is your only option. Zero Frost Ninja. Dude, I'm doing really well. And I'm feeling even better than yesterday. Yesterday was a nice confidence builder for me that I could actually kind of do this. Fortunately, DLL jumped on the call so we could answer some questions and things like that and play. But I'm feeling really good. How are you doing? Carl, have you had a chance to watch my... Dude, I have not. Which one is the better one to watch? I will watch both because it's Mike. But I know he put out the one with the rank 3, like the big showcase. And then I think he did one before that too. What do you think, Carl? Which one's great? And what do you think is like, Are we looking at? You're probably not familiar with my terminology, like top shelf. Is this Aegon? Is this Fury level, or are we thinking more like stealthy level? Um, Sandu, is Nick Fury awakened? I think the question is probably, is it worth awakening him? And yeah, that second life is really important. Irene, Wolfman. Wolfman would be cool though, right? Maybe we can get Wolfman in the game. That'd be fun. Um, Six stars aren't getting, Work is saying the six stars aren't getting the passive fury. All right, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Um, and Sandy, is Nick worth a generic? I believe so. I think he's one of those champions that is worth a generic. Let's see what other people in the chat say. The chat is usually very smart, and so let's see what they say. But I think Nick is worth the 6-star, the 5-star, the 4-star. The second life is a big deal. Incredible world. King looks like a drunk uncle who really likes sumo. Maybe that's why I like him so much. Maybe that's why I am such a fan of him. Then he is a blast. He is an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to showing you all. That's funny. All right, and there's another champion in here who's pretty fun for this. It is Mr. Sinister. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mr. Sinister is fun? How is that possible? Let's see. Just ranked my 5-star Mole Man. He is insane. Henry, awesome. Congratulations. Mike was on that early. Legacy 2, of course. But Mike took his Mole Man to rank 3 before the post, or before the update was out, before he even knew what it was going to be. Like, he just did it. Carl, he posted one today. That's pretty wild. Yeah, that's the one. So what I tend to do is I tend to download them, and then I'll listen while, like, I'm doing just kind of some mindless work, or if I'm exercising, which isn't that often, or if I'm driving my kids around. They've gotten to learn the voices of the various YouTubers. It is what it is. Jets962 Marvel. Hey, Vega, is there any chance you would rank these buffs from best to worst? Yeah, I would give you my initial thoughts. I would really want to make it clear, though, they're not fully informed. They are not fully informed. I have not had the time to really play through them all, nor watch all of the videos. But based on For Loki chat, like as Carl's pointing out here, it would seem that Mole Man is going to be the most universally usable. I think that was what Mike and Legacy and Cam were all kind of saying when the buffs first were announced and they had access to them. Kingpin is a ton of fun. I think he's got some utility with the debuff purifying. You'll see it a little bit here. Yellow Jacket seems like damage is going to be the issue with him. A lot of utility. People are talking about the heal. I think AC was up earlier in this chat talking about the heal reversal or mitigation. And then Terax looks like a ton of fun. I have my eye on him because I think that there might be some unique ways to play him, and also having that armor break. And then also he is bleed and shock immune. Which is a unique combination, a fairly unique combination. Kind of is making me think off the top of my head of Red Hulk with his Incinerate and Poison. And something like that can really elevate a champion. So I'm not saying that Terax is as good as Red Hulk. I'm saying that I want to really explore him a little bit. Miguel, hey, what's up? Yeah, Zero Frost Ninja, I think for sure Nick with the generic. So making sure I have this team set up correctly. I do. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot better, but I still need to make sure I'm paying attention. So I'm pretty pumped up because I haven't really played Ghost in what feels like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I got her early as the 5-star, ranked her up, and I got to use her in war and things like that. Wow, it felt like some really bad lag there. And I decided that I think I'm going to take her to rank 3. I think I'm going to do it. I know that sounds ridiculous. It's kind of like, why wouldn't you take her to rank 3? But I used the 5-star so much, and the 5-star was sufficient for me. This Nightcrawler is playing very defensively. But if they're going to keep doing, I know it's now bugged, but if they're going to keep doing the the benefit to 6 stars in Act 7, then I think it is time to maybe bring her up to rank 3. I have the extra tier 5 CC and tech. The other ones I was really considering is Mysterio, who I do really like, and Hulkbuster. Let's do another, but I've got to really, so the point of this was I'm rusty. I'm really rusty with Ghost. And I think so much more has been learned about her as the game has progressed and how she can take different nodes. Might be time for me to brush up on some of my Panda Man Pete. But I mean, that is just so much fun. Like, that is so much fun. Not that Wolverine's like the toughest defender, but that is fun. There's nothing in the game that, well, Kingpin's really fun. That is about as good as it gets. Let's put it that way. Duke, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Duke has had probably an interesting interaction with me the last like 2 weeks. I think I messaged him quite a bit when I first had my concussion, before I even fully realized I had it. And there was some people, and I think he was one that was like, are you okay? I think maybe you're not okay. You should go see a doctor. Yeah, see, like right there, I'm a little off on the timing, even with a champion like Deadpool, who does not have very tough animations. Like, I would not want to try to ghost a Domino right now. I'd have to resort back to my old style of doing that. All right, let's finish him off. Parzival, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for stopping by. Sabby, hey, what's up? Any tips for 5.3? Man, so even when I am not fresh off a concussion, I forget content so quickly. I'm really sorry. I don't have any. My tips would be go in, do the best you can to read the nose beforehand. And if it's not going well, just back out. Back out. You know, you don't want to get in that position where you are feeling like you got to use items and then you resort to unit man. It's just not a good feeling when it's all done and said. So, let's see, it's a mistake. So yeah, so that was interesting, right? I put out that video about ranking Kingpin, and I'll try to make it as clear as I can. That was for fun. That was purely for fun. I, in general, don't like the skill class. The game keeps giving me skill tier 5 CC. I don't have Mole Man, I don't have Hit Monkey, and I don't have Black Widow Deadly Origin. Somehow those champions escaped me. It's like I keep getting the resources to rank skill champions. I even have an Awakening Gem. I have 88 6-star 6 stones for skill. I have tier 5 CC like it is no one's business, but I don't have the champions to rank. And so I just did that video. I was like, I want to have fun. I'm excited about Kingpin. I do enjoy him. And so whatever this tier 5 CC, whatever it gives me, that's what I'll rank. And so it wasn't like a proclamation or something like that. The Kingpin was going to be amazing. It was just more like, here's what I'm going to do. Clyde, dude, thank you so much for stopping by, man. I know you said you think you maybe have to get to class. Have fun in class, man. Make sure you pay a lot of attention. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. Carl, it looks like he's remembering 5.3. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pars, if I had Mole Man, I probably would have done that. Especially, I think Mike knows the game so well with him ranking up Mole Man before the pre-buff was showing that he was probably worthy. That being said, I like Kingpin. Chop, I was expecting Kingpin and I got Ghost. Oh, that's a good problem to have. Savvy, you don't think, well, you never know. You never know until you go and give it a try, and that's what's cool. Just, back out. There's really no reason to hurry. Pars, what about Stealth Spidey? Dude, I like him. I just don't love him. I don't enjoy playing him. But he probably will go up at some point, right? He probably will go up at some point. All right. Let's go ahead and keep progressing here. So this is fun. This is fun, and I don't know why I didn't think of this originally when this node came out, because this is obviously the easiest way to do this. Is just hold them. She shrugs the debuff so quickly though that I don't even get to really utilize the power lock as you're seeing. Like it's off before we even get to do anything about it, but it's still fun. I was wondering if that would make contact. That was cool that it did. So he's good for this fight, and his synergy, that's what the power lock is. I'm sure you all have seen it by now, but that's what the power lock's coming from after the opponent throws a special. We'll see it a little bit more with Kingpin because the opponents won't be shrugging nearly as quickly. And I guess I probably should be getting the buffs from the elongated stun. I should have been doing that if I wanted to play her better. Barrowman, concussion. Hope you have at this point. I think Barrowman's probably answering some questions. Barrowman, dude, you are crushing it. I've really loved what you've done for Professor X. I loved him when I first got him. And I thought I was playing him well, and I put out some videos on it. Got a lot of people were like, "Oh, dude, cool videos. Thanks for showing it." But a lot of folks were like, "Dude, he's not good. What are you doing?" And you have just absolutely crushed it. You and Agent X and Metal Sonic Dude. I love what you guys have been putting out there. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you for stopping by the chat, dude. I really appreciate it. I'm good friends with Godman and Capcom, and they've been telling me that you've been posting videos like that for quite a while. An amazing player, so that's cool. Carl, I think Kingpin might be an annoying defender in War 2. Yeah, I'm a little. I think Kingpin might be a pain in the butt. I think we'll have to see how it goes. But I think he might be. Oh, that's not a good way to start. Like I said, I am rusty with my ghost. All right, so let's pull it back together here. It's like riding a bike. I'm still a very, very average ghost player, but it feels good. She's that good that you can be average and still do good things with her. Let's see here. Henry, I have Mole Man, Kingpin, and Yellow Jacket. All is 5 stars. So special, dude, yeah, it's like you opened up one crystal and got 3 really good to great champions. Congratulations. Who are you liking best so far? What are you thinking? Pete, hey, Vega, hey, Pete, how are you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by. Ninja Bugsy, yeah. I mean, I loved Professor X, but the things that Barrowman's put out there and the videos showing like a better way to ramp him up quickly just makes him over the top. And there's a lot of utility there too. It's been awesome. I love when a YouTuber or anyone in the community just shows us like an even better way to play what was already considered a good to great champion. So Pars, Stealthy has so much damage. He does. You know what it is for me, Pars, is I have been waiting on skill. It's really skill I've realized is going to be my best chance to get a new champion and just take them to SIG 200, rank 3, and really keep my prestige super high in that top tier. And so I think there's a bit of like a build up with skill that probably isn't a good idea. And maybe I'll just eventually break down and rank him. I mean, his prestige is great too. It'll just kill me if I do that. If I take him to SIG 200 and rank 3, and then, you know, in the next 3 months, a skill champion who I would like if, like, let's say Okoye came out and Okoye's prestige was near Stealthy's or above, I'd be really bothered. I would truly regret that. Like, that wouldn't be a fun, haha, I ranked up Kingpin, this was enjoyable. It would be like, why did I do that? And so that's why I haven't ranked up Stealthy yet. And I think DLL has joined us. For those that don't know, DLL is he was the leader of the first alliance I was ever in. I think you all are getting used to DLL being on the call, an encyclopedia of information. And just we're going to start hyping this a little bit. I am technically in the latest 4 Loki tournament, the Incursions tournament. I've had to forfeit the first 2 rounds because of the concussion. Like, there was just no way I could play the game and think it through and all that. I just couldn't in that level. But DLL and I are facing each other this week. And I think we're going to stream this weekend. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really different take on the Incursions tournament. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. My prediction, if I was a betting man, is that DLL will beat me probably in room like 7, maybe 8. But I do have a big roster, and that provides a lot of a lot of insurance, let's call it. So anyways, I'll do a little more gameplay, and we'll catch up on chat. Thanks, DL. I appreciate you showing up.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm not that confident. I mean, one thing's for sure. I'm not going to be able to starve you out. That's for sure.
No, and so like I've actually been thinking about it. Like I was really excited for my matchup with Dreamin', you know, because he was supposed to be my first matchup. And sorry, I don't want to mess this up here. I'm sure I will anyway. But I was just thinking through about like what champions I should start off with. Well, we should probably explain the format. Basically, the format to sabotage. You're actually working against your partner.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Parzival caught the last one because he said condolences on my loss to Dreamin'. That's honestly okay. I mean, as people pointed out, I probably could have beaten him in like room 7 or whatever if I had intentionally died to the boss, because then he would have died and been done. It just didn't occur to me to intentionally lose. It's kind of a weird part for me. Paul, no, it's not a speed race. Like Vega said, the idea is that you pick the you leave the node up that is most likely to get your opponent in trouble, and then you take turns going at the boss first, and whoever takes out the boss can remove somebody from the other person's team. And so you have, you know, like, you make sure as long as you play well that they don't just rely on Ghost or Aegon the whole way. So it's a really interesting format because a lot of the best incursions champions just aren't viable. Because like Morningstar works because you can like ramp her for a few rooms, but then you're not going to have her anymore. Aegon's never going to get to 999 because somebody will just drop him off. Synergies are risky. It's interesting.
So that's some of the like that's why I hope we continue to do it over the course of multiple tournaments, because I do think there's a lot of strategy to test out, and then people will figure out the counters, and then there'll be counters to those counters. Like I like it. I've watched a couple of the streams now, and it was a lot of fun to watch it. Like not even just like being in it. Michael's got a question. Would you use an awakening gem on stealth? I think if you need the slow, and if you like playing him, we've talked a lot about stealth. I just don't particularly enjoy playing him, but I recognize he's a very good champion. And I think the SIG ups his damage considerably, right?
It's a fair bit. It's what at max SIG, I think he gets 40% stronger Furies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, given how many he can get, that's not bad.
Yeah, and I think it starts off at like 20%, doesn't it?
That's interesting. That kind of brings back to, because you were talking, even at max SIG, he probably wouldn't do much for your prestige, right?
Nope.
And if he doesn't, do you have skill stones in the bank or just generics?
Oh no, I've got like 86 skill and 120. I could take a skill champion from 0 to SIG 200 and R3M.
Right, but how many are stashed? Sorry, that wasn't clear.
No, it's all right. Let's go ahead and before I die to Wolverine X23.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm gonna have traumatic flashbacks about counter tactics long shot for a while.
Roxas makes a good point here. They were talking about stealth, right? That his fury and cruelty are passive, which means it can't be nullified or taken away. And I think that is a big deal. Like, I used Immortal Abomination, who I love. I think is a great champion. I used him in War the other day, and it's off-season War, so we're just kind of just like, take whatever you want. There's not a lot of planning. And I just, without even thinking about it, ended up on a lane that had, what's it called? Like redoubled determination. It's the one where, yeah, that was terrible. That was really horrible. And so,
for those who don't know, it's both extra attack and extra power gain per debuff.
And that's Immortal Abomination's thing, right? Like, is that's what Rob, thank you so much, man. Like, I really, really appreciate it. And I'm so glad to be back and doing this. And so, thank you, Rob. Seriously, thank you. And What was I saying though about the? Oh, is that was just like, hey, here's a negative I hadn't really thought through about Immortal Abomination. That's the complexity of the game nowadays, though. Is like rarely is there any champions to be able to take anything. But what Roxas is pointing out, I think, is a nice kind of like counter to that, in that Stealthy is gaining these buffs, they're passives that are enhancing his damage. But those sorts of nodes or fights where that would normally be a big negative, you can still use him. And I think that's a really smart point. I think that's a really not a smart point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still thinking that unless you have a ton specifically in Overflow, I don't think I'd take him to Sig 200 even if you rank 3 him. Because as you pointed out, you'll have so much of the package already. But he is a good champion for sure. On the subject of the passive versus the active, that's something I've been appreciating lately about game design when it comes to Torch, is that what am I trying to say?
Hold on.
There are go
on. Just to pin in that, because it's a good thought, is that was 18 hits out of Kingpin, and there was no debuffs or anything like that. So, and not that that's a tough fight. I mean, when your opponent is stun locked the whole time, it's not hard. But just kind of an idea of he's a brawler and the sort of damage he can put out, even in when like, this isn't variant 6. I didn't take him to variant 6 and say like, look how good he is. I'm not saying he's amazing. I'm just saying like, he's not bad. He's not bad. All right. Sorry, Diala.
Well, yeah. Well, first off, just to go off what you were just saying, I took that fight every single time with my rank 2 Wasp. And so she's a little weaker in the base stats, but Wasp has one of the highest attack values in the game, has guaranteed crits and class advantage. And it was roughly that many hits every time.
Wow.
So
okay.
That definitely speaks well for Kingpin.
And what were you asking about? You're asking about the Sig Stones, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering how many are not just in inventory, but in overflow, because you said you had some.
No, in fact, it's less than I thought it was. It's only 4 generics. It's only 4 generics, so it's not bad at all. I don't have to. I mean, I'll probably just put those in Ghost because I think I am going to take Ghost to rank 3.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like Mysterio. I like Hulkbuster. I really like Gilly. She's the one who I'm really, really like. I think Gilly is going to be mainly maybe because she's the newest. I think she's the one who's most likely to for sure maintain relevance for the next, 5 years or whatever. But who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say you could also round out Archangel, but I mean, you're never gonna regret Sigs and Ghost. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's you made a good point too yesterday about maybe I should have taken Archangel. I took Stealth because I was kind of just like, all right, I'm going to give up. I'm going to go ahead and rank him. Probably it would make sense to get the Sigs on him going. But maybe Archangel would have been a good call. Michael's asking, who's the best counter for I-Bomb on that path, Section 8?
Well, with Stubborn gone, it has to be Quake. But it was really difficult this last season.
No, wait, hold on. We're talking about War, Path 8 in Section 2, I assume?
Yeah, sorry. I was still on Redoubled Determination.
I think it is. It's a different version of it, though. Let me see if War's still on. And we can, the node will probably be down. Let's still take a look, though.
I can check ours. I know for a fact we didn't clear that side. We've been doing partial clears.
Michael, is this the fight you're talking about right here, buddy? You can just confirm. I think it is. Dr. Fairly Strange. That's funny. I like that name. How dependent is Kingpin on the dupe? I know it's nice to have. I'm not sure yet. It seems like it's a nice. It does. Basically, I'm going to repeat what you just said. It seems like it's a nice to have. I'm not sure it's necessary. I'm pretty early on in the testing of him. I'm not sure I'm going to even get my video out till this weekend on him because I really want to go through it. But we'll take a look at that too right after this. If I forget, remind me, please.
It should still be good there, I think.
So I'll tell you right now, I've been crushing that with Archangel. Archangel just melts him, and here's the thing, because I know with Redoubled Determination, you're like, that's a little scary. Is especially if he's awakened, he starts off with 3 poisons. Your neuros are up immediately. Like,
the only reason we haven't been doing that is because like the first time we tried it, somebody did like 2 heavies and didn't proc any bleeds.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. Well,
But yeah, he should work.
and also, so like, I'm so glad you said that because that's something that I sometimes get stuck in. Is like, I also have a rank 3 Sig 112 Archangel. Not a lot of people have that in their back pocket. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm jealous.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, we have a couple questions. Okay. Who would you take up between Elsa, Blade, or Kingpin? Skill to rank 5. I mean, I'll let Vega pitch for Kingpin. Out of those, I'd probably take Elsa. I mean, a high Sig Blade is still very useful if you have a lot of older content, because he just crushes old content. But I have been able to do a lot with Elsa.
And then, Michael, you just heard the conversation. I hope on the on that node, it seems like maybe Quake. I like Archangel, but I am also my knowledge is a little skewed by having a rank 3 Sig 112. That's going to change a lot. Also, when Immortal Abominations awaken, he starts off with 3 poisons, which can allow you to get into those neuros insanely fast. I have it up on a couple war videos. I don't remember exactly which one, but they are from this last season. If you want to take a look, I usually put Archangel, the attack team, in a little photo in the bottom right hand corner. If you see Archangel, there's a good chance that fight's there. I think I took it 2 or 3 times.
Work says he's used Red Hulk as well. I could see that just very carefully.
Yeah, that would make sense. I know we had a little difficulty with I-Bomb on the Path 5 redoubled determination. I know we did. And then there was a question, I apologize, I already forgot who asked it, but about Kingpin Sig. As I'm looking at it, I think that Sig is more than a nice to have for what Kingpin does. I think Kingpin's good at getting rid of these debuffs and about gaining rage. And so I bet if you played him a little more slowly, he could still work out very well. But this is allowing him to get into the fight right away. Like, I don't know if you saw, we took down that last fight in 18 hits. Not that it's an overly difficult fight, but without the awakened ability, I just don't think there's any way that happens. Because the rage is a big deal for him.
I definitely agree with you. Now that they've fixed the special too, so that you can reliably get into overpower without taking hits or debuffs.
Yeah.
Getting rage back when you come out of it is a very big deal.
Yeah, and I'll try to use him in a few more fights on this one, just so we can kind of see him a little bit. As of right now, I don't think he's a very complex champion. I kept hoping that there was going to be something we hadn't realized or whatever. But no, I think we realized it, and I think this is just who he is. He's a brawler.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's Kingpin, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's a brawler. I believe he still has the text where his heavies can't trigger an evade, right? And then he has the
that's
slight
that's a synergy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shows how much I paid attention to him.
Well,
okay, but you can build that.
Yeah, but that synergy is with the 2 Daredevils. So.
Okay, well, we'll focus on the Sinister synergy then.
I mean, if you want to put together a synergy team for him, you have an all-star cast of not so goods, you know? I thought that was going to kill him. Hood would be his best synergy partner. Mr. Sinister's got, I think, some uses. And that's what I want to really test. When I put out a video, I'd like to really test, do you need Sinister? Because that power lock synergy is really nice, but do you really need it? Like, how much is it really changing what you can do with Kingpin?
Yeah. Savvy Singh, you're putting out a lot of champions here, a lot of which are quite good. If you're in the Discord and post your roster, that would probably be an easier place for us to parse through rank up recommendations.
John.
Sorry to not help you here.
No, I think that's key. And that's usually the advice I end up giving to you, buddy, is like, at some point, without the context of knowing where you're at and things, it's just going to be, you know, at some point we're going back to the chart on here's who the best champions in the game are, you know? John, dude, thank you so much for showing up. I know you missed yesterday. I'm so glad you're here. We're just kind of talking through Kingpin a little bit as we go.
Michael, it sounds like you're still on the counter for I-bomb there. Warlock could work, but an issue you have to keep in mind is that if for some reason whoever placed I-bomb placed them without willpower, Warlock's not gonna have much of an advantage, and you're gonna have a really bad time. It may not happen often because willpower is a very common mastery, but we saw people do that occasionally. Blade was a really popular defender in a couple places, and some people would place him without willpower just to trap warlocks. Kingpin is a 6-star, Mole Man is a 5-star, wishing they were swapped. Well, at least now you have 2 decent champs as opposed to what was kind of widely considered 2 misses, right?
But yeah, I think I mean, I've really just given very quick viewings to the Mole Man videos that have been out, but I've obviously played a bit now with Kingpin. I would think that's the order I would put them. Is Mole Man is the superior overall champion. I think Metal Sonic Dude is saying something pretty similar there. I caught it right before I got back into a fight.
Yeah, no, he said exactly that. And I think that's probably accurate as well. Kingpin is fun, and he's yet another option for like pure damage in the skill class, but he's kind of a slower burn. He doesn't peak nearly as high as Mole Man. He might be easier to use though. Something to be said for that.
That is true. In fact, there was some discussion in my Alliance chat. I didn't have time to really read it through properly, so apologies if I misunderstood it, but I think someone was having a little difficulty with Mole Man's true accuracy. Maybe the way it signified wasn't showing properly, or it was triggering it the wrong.
Posted something about that.
What are we saying?
It says, I've seen the true accuracy active while in frenzy, but the opponent was still evading.
Yeah,
That's really odd.
I don't think that was the intention. I don't think they changed him that much. I think it was still you had to choose between those right. 2 modes, not that they were then combined. And that's probably what the discussion in my Alliance chat was.
Yeah, that sounds more like a visual. Yeah, exactly what Kazuri says. That's a visual bug more than a gameplay bug.
Did anyone use Ghost in Act 7? I know she was used, but I wonder if anyone... Did you use her, DL?
I definitely used her in at least some spots.
Okay.
I forget where exactly.
I mean, that's how it is with that. It's such big content. Okay, and MSD. Yeah, it looks like we're all confirming definitely a visual bug. Kingslayer, what's up? Dude, Kingslayer, your rank 3 Kingpin video you put out today... I saw it really early in the morning, and I was like, how did he get the picture that I was going to use for my thumbnail? Like, I kid you not. I'll send it to you on Discord, buddy. It's hilarious. It's him having a crit heavy into Captain Marvel in Realm of Legends. It's hysterical. So, in other words, I really like your thumbnail. Yeah, let's Kingpin this. Okay, so yeah, and Metal Sonic 2 is saying he was even having it happen. So weird, right? Like, Kingpin was bugged yesterday too. Like, how does this happen? Not to bring that old conversation up, but...
Yeah, I think on some levels it's obvious though. Like, as many things as really are going well, these days at Kabam, they could do a little bit more testing.
Some of the charms of the house just come with the house. I think that's Kingpin. I think what you just saw there. I did not play well. He's a brawler, and he's got that huge resistance on his heavies. So you're incentivized to throw them, and you're not as concerned about taking damage back. Like, I'm not saying go insane with him, but that's it. And then he ends it with a 9K medium. Like, Kingpin.
Yeah, he's definitely better. I think maybe you remember when he first came out, I was reading over him and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. He has like this ability to, rack up a lot of attack really quickly, and then just, it didn't work out. I feel like this is what I was reading when the leak first came out, before the actual numbers were associated with it.
Well, and this
What
was
I was hoping he would be.
close to 4 years ago.
Yeah, because it would have been. He came out around like Stark Spidey, so before Blade.
It was before I joined your alliance. I know that, and the reason I know it is because in my very first war fight ever in Evil, I died to a Kingpin.
Yeah. Backing that up, I remember that when we recruited you, you already had Spark and Blade.
Yep.
And we were like, oh yeah, this guy's got a great roster.
Which was true. It was true.
Yeah.
I was so excited to see that Ghost does, in fact, not take that damage that I forgot to actually play the game. So that's a great example of me saying, like, my ghosting is just so rusty. Like, I just never played her. Like, all the things that she can do that I just never took advantage of, or weren't in the game yet, or we hadn't thought of. Like, I don't think we were using Hood, not in war, back when I played her, right? Just
if we
go for it.
If we did, it was pretty much only for the all or nothing node. It just wasn't that common.
I don't think we were doing it yet, DL. Just to give a refresher, I go all the way back to when Morningstar bosses were a thing. That's when I was playing Ghost I mean, I think I'm not even sure it was a WA. No, it probably was WA. Anyways, that's how long ago it was. All right, Meta, here you go. This is Kingpin in action. Look how good. Watch what he'll do to this guy. It's as if Unstoppable Colossus can't move.
I was wondering why he was calling you yellow. Just a weird typo.
Yeah. Metal Sonic Dude, I opened my first featured 5-star for Kingpin, not knowing anything about him. Then I saved for Blade. Dude, so you were part of the save for Blade. Congratulations.
The last great hunt.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Day. I remember when it came out. I remember where I was when I opened some of those crystals. As weird as that is. How are we doing on time? So
you got a half hour.
I still got a few more of these to do, folks. So let's ask some questions.
Yeah. Well, Paul asks, any thoughts on who gets the buffs next month? For one thing, I'm not sure that they're guaranteed next month. They tend to be spread out a little more, right?
I'm confused on that because I feel like when the roadmap came out, they were saying that they were going to eventually get to champions being buffed monthly. It was like 2 per month. And then first of all, I think we should confirm that's correct, but I think it is. And then also, I think they've now backed off of that, or they've said it's going to take us a while to get to that pace.
Yeah. I think it's more like every 3 months or something now. But either way, John Lash says maybe Sentry. I don't know what the King in Black storyline is. Is that something that seems to be coming up in the MCU, I'm guessing? But I do know that now that they're doing set photos for Love and Thunder, and the Guardians seem to be in that, it would be really nice if Groot was less awful. He's been my vote for a while. And Cosmics could kind of use another super premium, to use your terms.
Thank you.
Oh, Null, the God of the Abyss. Okay, I could see how that would play into some of the stuff that's coming up too. So I heard he's involved with Nowhere, which would be a link to the Guardians. Sabby asks, do you think Iron Fist will get a buff? I actually don't, unfortunately, at least not soon, because they keep giving him synergies. and like none of them are game changing, but what was it? Super Scroll has one with him that's pretty decent, and they usually don't give characters a lot of powerful synergies right before they buff them because it makes balancing the buff more difficult. And so I wouldn't bank on Iron Fist, although he definitely could use some more interesting stuff.
Chop's giving me a little advice on Ghost here. So when you have the precision on Ghost, Nightcrawler can't dodge. So just hit into his block and switch his mode. Oh, cool. Thank you. That's the kind of stuff that, dude, it's been so long since I've played Ghost. I'll give that a go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my go-to for Ghost versus Nightcrawler. I actually don't do it for that node, because of the recharge thing. But yeah, that's a good tip.
I don't know if I agree that I was struggling per se, but you know, trying to be funny, funny.
Michael asks, is Wasp worth a rank 3? I think so. I mean, I wouldn't put her at the top of the list. I-Bomb, High Sig, Captain America, Human Torch, probably all ahead of her. But she's very fun and she's quite good. And she hits like a truck. Shouldn't that have been unblockable? Or did you get it after?
What?
Shouldn't that L2 have been unblockable? I was only kind of half watching.
I would have needed to have been in the overpowered, and I don't think I was.
Oh, that was just the heavy from the Fury. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I wish those had. I get how. I get that this is a really, really high maintenance request, but I wish that they looked different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, aren't you the one who triggered them? You should know what you triggered. But I don't know.
No, I'm all for more clarity in the UI. Like, after all this time, why doesn't Spark have like a little circular timer for when his EMP mod comes back? That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
What? You mean while you're counting hits and combos, you can't accurately also count to 20 in pace with a clock?
The answer is no. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly can't.
Tom, thank you.
Says it would...
Oh, go for
go
it.
on.
No, I was just saying hi to Tom. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Hi, Tom. Metal Sonic says it would be amazing if Null was added. And he was ironically great for Abyss content. I can see that if he's the god of the Abyss. Is he one of... I don't know anything about him, though. Is Null one of those characters... I mean, we were talking about Odin just the other day. But is Null one of those characters where we'd have to be worried about how their power level transfers to this? Because I thought I saw something about him, like, killing a god or something. And those champions make me nervous. Because, like, you know, we all want to see Odin in the game, but we want him to be, you know, strong enough that it feels fair, but not too strong. It sounds like Meta's kind of on the same page. Yeah, Kazuri, the loading screen's weird this month.
PP, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. That was the longest rogue fight ever, I think. Yeah. What are we thinking about these champs? I started reading through, and honestly, they were boring me. Both of February champions, I was just like, I don't have time for this. I'm going to move on.
Yeah,
I'm kind of inclined to agree. I haven't even read Psycho Man yet, because he just looks so complicated. Like I said, Scroll seems like he could be good, but he's one of those where, like, I have to play and see how the rotation comes out. Okay, a couple things. Oh, Null is the symbiote god. That makes sense. Okay. And yeah, PP, if Null should be stronger than Odin, then I'm nervous about him getting added to the game. I'm very nervous. John Lash asks, yeah, Kingpin is a viable prestige champ for people like me, not so much for people like Vega. Kind of depends on where you are in the game.
There's something weird with him, though. I think we should, again, I don't know what's up with that, or maybe it's been answered. His 5-star rank 5 prestige was not that great, but his 6-star rank 3 prestige seemed quite good. And that seemed surprising. It was more of a, I'm sorry, I can't think of the right word, but it wasn't even like Sunspot. It was a much bigger difference.
I wonder if they just forgot to update the 5-star.
Yeah, that would potentially explain it.
And that would be a real bummer because, or at least it would be a bummer if they don't then fix it. Because it would be it would suck if somebody took him to rank 3 as a prestige champ and then later took him to rank 4 and he was like back at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like I get on some level there's a little bit of like, hey, it's really fun that we don't know and it's exciting and like it's a, the loot box idea, I guess, on some level. On another level, it's like, no, people are putting in really serious resources on this with long range planning, and then to just be surprised your prestige champ sucks now. Like, that's not a fun surprise. I wish there was more clarity.
Yeah.
Piyush asks, sorry if I didn't say that right. I probably didn't say that right. Want to do Abyss easy path, have Aegon and Doom, but not Fury and Torch. So I don't think you need Fury. The main fight for him on the easy path is Invisible Woman. And every time I took that with Aegon after I decided to just eat the Power Sting, I ran out of hits at about the same time that I ran out of health. So it'll take you 2 or 3 revives, but Aegon absolutely works for Invisible Woman. As for Torch, that's a bigger problem, but his biggest things, is obviously Mephisto, so you're gonna need Void, or Fell on the Discord was talking about how Claire could potentially do that fight if you don't have Torch or Void. Torch I also used for a couple other fights. He's useful for like the first 90% of Iron Man Infinity War, and he's really good for Cyclops and Loki, but Aegon can do all of those fights. So the biggest thing is, as long as you have a Mephisto counter, you could do it.
It looks like we're getting a recommendation on, I think his name is Rob Von Schu. Maybe did a short version on one of the February champions.
Okay.
He has a smaller channel. It's pretty good. It's really good. I didn't mean that the way it sounded. Very good channel. I think he's in the CCP. I think it's Rob Von Schu. PP, it's Rob Von Schu, correct?
Yeah, I'll probably check that out.
I think Brian Grant is considering doing that. He did something like that with Warlock recently, and I think it did well. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw him say that he was going to try to do that with the February champions as well. Kind of like a 3-minute or less, very basic, like, you just got him, here's how to play him.
Savvy Singh asks, Vega, do you have any tips for a free-to-play player on how to improve their roster? They're having trouble getting past 5.3. I'll just throw in one. If you're not in an alliance, find one that's appropriate. But then, Vega, you got anything?
No, I would go with alliance. I think that's a really big deal. And then, jeez. I wish I had like great advice on that. I really don't. You're probably, if you've already gotten to 5.3, you've probably already got a lot of the basics down as far as like, don't waste your resources, back out. I advise that to even free to play players. But if the quest just isn't going well, back out, like don't waste your resources. And then, I got a question like that the other day too. Someone was like, "Hey, I'm kind of up and coming. I don't think I'm a great player, but I'm improving. Do you know any alliances that would be good for me to join?" And I wish I did, because that's what happened to me. Is Coop, what's up, buddy? Thanks for showing up. Is I my skill was improving, but I was aware that I was not good. Objectively good at the game. My roster had grown considerably. Obviously, I was not free to play, and they started the war seasons. And I don't know if it's still a thing, but back then, recruiting on Reddit was a thing. You could go to the Reddit forums, and there was a whole recruitment place, and that's how I met DLL. And then joining that alliance was the beginnings of me becoming a good player in the game, because I was now surrounded by players who really knew how to play, and things that like they had taken for granted that they had just learned that I had not. They were now showing me in fight videos online. Like we would post videos all the time, and there was DLL, Capcom, Wiz, Emon, players like this. A lot of them don't even play the game anymore, who were willing to review my fights and take a look at them and be like, okay, when you did this, you should throw the 4-hit combo instead of the 5. And I'd be like, what? Why would I do that? And so that was extremely helpful. So if you can find an alliance like that, and I know it's not easy, I think that is a really big deal and extremely, extremely helpful. Drago, hey, Vega, been a while since I could hop on stream. How are you feeling? Dude, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a ton better. Did a stream yesterday, finished off Act 7, and it went well. I was really grateful DLL was on the call, because it was a little bit of a struggle to pay attention to the nodes and still chat. But I'm doing a lot better, and this is, we're back. We're back. I think we'll be back pretty regularly, so I'm excited about that. Oh, Roxas, AGT. I know they have that's a big family of alliances, and I know there's quite a few really good ones. So that's awesome. And Roxas is actually you I was mentioning, so that's cool.
Yeah, I used to post on that Reddit like every 2 weeks.
What do we want to see here? Oh, here, I want to show you all this real quick. It'll probably be in a video. But let's go ahead and take a look at Kingpin doing a PP. Are you talking about My Nexus? Dude, in general, it was an amazing crystal. It just, for me, was like, it was, I think it was John who came up with it. Someone did, one of the subscribers. That it was like the free steak dinner after you've already eaten at the buffet. And like, that's how it felt for me. It was like, I just used an awakening gem and 6 stones on Archangel. And stealthy for like anyone else would be amazing. Not anyone else, but for the vast majority of people. But I don't need prestige, and I don't want skill. And then, of course, I get the skill tier 5 CC as well. So,
Yeah, I think my 6-star Nexus, I ended up taking like Drax or something, which tells you what the other 2 were.
yeah, that's, of course. So
it happens.
I'm not complaining. I want to make that very clear. All right, let's see how well I actually play this. But I think a node like this is where Kingpin will really shine. You do want to have the hood synergy, though.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying without it.
Yeah, because, without... So if those who don't know, hood is what gives him 100% to turn those debuffs into the rage. Without hood, it's only 60%. And I, maybe if I get better with Kingpin, I would be able to do the whole lane. But I really don't think Kingpin would be able to do this lane on his own. We'll see. But I really don't think he would.
Drago says he got Fury as a 6-star. That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Wow, that is awesome. Ronan is one of these champions whose animations, I don't think I will ever completely get used to his animations.
Yeah, he can be a little tricky.
It's something about the way his specials end and his heavy ends that it's not.
Yeah.
So obviously I haven't played that great, but you're seeing that what the damage capabilities are here.
Yeah, 4K non-crits aren't bad. That 14 was
had the better chance to really take advantage of the heavies in the corner, and I messed it up. That's something I'm getting used to. Is like you are incentivized, and you have the insurance of the physical resistance when you heavy. So you're incentivized to use it, but still, like, I mean, this isn't really revolutionary thinking here, but those mid-map heavies, not a good idea still, because they just back up and hit into you, and it's a problem. Rob, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you caught it too. Let's go ahead and we'll do that one more time, and then I should go.
John, that's a really good point. That now KP works well with the usual Ghost team. Ghost, Hood, Wasp, because one of the first things I look for in synergy teams is, A, the obvious, are they all decent champs? But B is class diversity, and not just for class advantage reasons, but because the classes really do handle different kinds of fights differently. There's a reason it's so hard to find skill champs that can take debuff heavy nodes reliably, as Vega is showing us right now. And so it's nice to have like a good skill champ that just meshes into that amazing trinity.
That's kind of my thinking here too. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was curious to see if anyone would say that. I wish there was a way to fit Havoc on this team, but obviously there's not.
Well, you have Sinister, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible? I mean, yeah, I guess that would just be a trade-off. You'd make Kingpin a little weaker, but what does Havoc bring to it?
He actually needs the synergy with. Sorry, hold on.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm setting this up poorly, by the way. So you might be able to get it now. There we go.
I like that the timers are independent now on the heavies.
Yeah.
They changed how that works, so it used to be such a nightmare to get all three of them. You almost needed the Sinister synergy.
So there it was. That's what I was trying to get, and that's what caused me to play so aggressively. I know it caused mistakes and caused me to take damage, but if you can get to that SP3 with those Fury buffs, then they're now stunned in the corner. And you just go in and just belly the heck out of them. It's really fun. And I probably, as I play more, I could get better at setting it up without having to be as risky, because there's definitely what I think we were at like 56% health, and that's not a good way to take a lane.
Yeah.
But the damage gets really good. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right, everyone. I think we're gonna call it quits for today. DLL, thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It was great seeing everyone. DLL, you got anything?
Not really. I mean, PP points out Havoc and Wasp synergy. Yeah, that would be great. And then you'd have 5 of the 6 classes. That sounds awesome.
Actually, I think that's it, and that's why I would like to really try to look at this without having to bring Sinister. I think Sinister's great. Like if I'm bringing in, maybe it's Strife. There's a synergy there, I think, with Sinister and Strife, or if I'm bringing like Apocalypse, who can be really good for these lanes. So I think there's a lot to play with there. But yeah, Havoc and then Wasp. But then, so the thing with that is if we're bringing it on like a lane like this, it's actually causing damaging debuffs, that could be a real problem. Like, because we're not going to be using Havoc. So I don't know. It's fun. I think they did a great job with it, and we'll definitely get a video out soon.
100%.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you, DLL. And we'll probably see you all tomorrow or Thursday. Take care.
Take care, guys.